Afternoon, evening. Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is the Schiller. If this is your first time watching, what's up? We cover everything within the Web3 space. Today we're talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. Everybody is posting these large, unbelievable numbers. We'll kind of go over that a little bit. I want to remind you of some crazy things that have happened in the past, as we like to do, and of course your random stories of the past 24/48 hours, because I missed yesterday, but I appreciate you guys here today. So let's get into it. Spotty highlighting the fact that Tiffany Co had a thing where you could get a personalized punk pendant and spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. How often do you wear this in public? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but there was people that were doing it before for $50,000. Honestly, there are so many dead tokens and ecosystems in the top 25 digital assets right now. A complete reclassification of what it is to be a blue chip is coming over the next 48 months, driven by institutional ETFs and indices with real fundamental analysis. Okay, so this is huge because we always make the stupid argument of, oh, how does this? Sorry, I shouldn't say it's stupid, but it's stupid. Looking at it and seeing the justification for it is like Decentraland, Sandbox, and all these things that, like, you know, where's the daily active users? Where's the people that are constantly playing these things? And there definitely is, but to the valuations that they are, it seems completely off kilter. So this is going to be one of the biggest shakeups, and I think it's going to shock a lot of people, and also kind of, you know, a part of our justification for saying, oh, you know, this new collection, this new coin, this whatever is going to do great. Nakamigos just teased their upcoming game. You can't make this up. I don't really know. Like, Nakamigos was like a pixelated art that came out. A lot of people randomly said that it was a part of Yuga. The narratives went galore. I mean, this doesn't really feel like a Nakamigos thing. I mean, it's pixelated, so I guess you have everything you can decide from, but I guess they're highlighting that these are the same things, so the quality might not be as great as we thought. But speaking of quality, holy heck. Listen, I know some of you guys watch just from listen when you're driving or whatever, but if you have the opportunity to watch the stream here for a second, this is from Parallel. Now, Parallel is a card game. It's known as that, but they're doing some very interesting things with AI, and yeah, I'll just let the video speak for itself.
Hi, we wanted to give an update on the development of Colony on mobile. Here is a quick demo directly from Unreal Engine 5, running on a Google Pixel 6 phone. Everything we are showing here is work in progress, as well as placeholder visuals and features. This is the avatar selection screen, in which we can select from any avatar in our wallets, who then gets spawned into this developer environment. Following our avatar allows me to explore the world as well as get information and data from other agents that populate the colony. Other explorations of this demo are our stats UI, which displays the status of my avatar, as well as a log with the different activities he has been engaging within the colony. His prime balance, which shows all the different transactions that he has performed recently. And a complete inventory system that shows items acquired or hallucinated by the AI while mining, crafting, or trading. For this demo, we also want to explore different interactions and ways to communicate with your avatar that we are prototyping at the moment.
Command, I found something you should take a look at. It appears to be a rare item. What should I do with it?
Hang on to it for now and go back to focusing on mining. Don't tell anyone you found it.
Understood, Command. It's our secret.
That's all for today's update. We look forward to exploring the colony with players.
Okay. So that's kind of cool. Again, I don't have one of the Parallel avatars, and I feel like the entire notion around Parallel is just the fact that it's a card game, right? But the fact that it's on mobile, they have this AI agent integration, and we're expecting this big AI takeover, that is... I see. The son of the world's richest man, $220 billion Louis Vuitton founder, is selling his CryptoPunk. Bro, just keep it. Your family has billions. So Alex Arno I guess, is the son of the Louis Vuitton founder. And this was the story all over my timeline. I think we have this weird thing where, depending on how many people you follow, it's like the same regurgitated story. So I woke up, I saw this, and I saw about 7 other people basically say the exact same thing verbatim with slightly tweaked words. And then we had this before where OpenSea said they were open to being acquiring, and then every account basically had the exact same take of, oh, just buy crypto or buy OpenSea, launch a coin, and then there you go. So I don't know. The timeline's interesting with everybody basically saying the exact same thing, but nonetheless, this is interesting exposure. Also surprised that he's selling it, but at the same time, maybe he doesn't get the extra money from that. Derek coming in hot here. Whenever people explain NFT games, they usually reference trading card games, Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! NFT TCGs are great, but they lose some of the magic moments. And this is, I try to go down in your deep memory, your senses from playing card games before. Physical sensation of ripping open a pack, slowly revealing each card. I opened I forget the dragon. It's like Molog. I don't remember. In Magic the Gathering. One of the Dominaria sets, not that recently, but I opened the pack and I ripped the card. The card was worth a heck of a lot, so I basically burned $50 doing that. But sure, the new card smell, LOL. Okay, if we have smelly NFTs, hell yeah. Trying to fill a binder, seeing an empty slot and having the urge to get it. Okay, fair. And showing off a slab in your house. If only you have friends that care about that stuff. I think this is kind of like an interesting point overall, though. But yeah, I mean, for NFTs, they don't have the same physical perks per se of that, but listen, scented NFTs, that's the dealio. If you haven't seen, this is the craziest story of the past 24 hours, without a doubt, potentially going to shake up the esports industry massively. I think if there are blockchain shooters out there, FPS games, first person shooter, for anybody that doesn't know what FPS means, this could be wild and massive. So for anybody that doesn't know, Call of Duty created a Call of Duty League. They had these teams and they brought them together and basically said you had to pay like X amount to get into the league. And so one of the big team owners in Hex, who owns Optic Gaming, is suing them with Scump. You might know Scumpy. A lot of people think he's the greatest of all time. Massive following for everything within the Call of Duty space. But they are suing the Activision, I guess. I shouldn't say like Call of Duty. They're suing Activision, the company behind it. So Hex sold a majority interest in Optic to Legacy in 2017 for $20 million. To buy a CDL spot, the Call of Duty League spot, Hex had to prove he had $3 million in capital and could obtain a $10 million line of credit. The lawsuit alleges that Activision forced Hex hand, resulting in the Envy acquisition and Envy owning 92.5% of Optic. Now, there's been all these things around the league itself, from some of the players that have those massive streams like Scump, like Zuma, where they said, oh, you're only allowed to stream on a certain platform, a monopoly type deal. There's a lot more to it if you're wanting to get read up or caught up on it, but this is just massive because this could implement or affect esports, because there's been a lot of situations where Overwatch League had to pay literally all the teams out because it basically failed, and then we have another one here within Activision and Call of Duty. So kind of spicy. More esports news coming up in a little bit. Did you guys know that I minted this ape right here, and then you see it sell for $100,000, and you're like, all right, if I would have just held that instead of streaming here on Twitch, okay, then, or if you're watching on YouTube, actually, you get the idea, but kind of funny. Anyway, so I guess there was a fresh wallet that deposited 295 ETH yesterday. They just bought 2 apes. Again, these are rather larger compared to the floor, and they put a 220 ETH bid on a hoodie punk. Now, what's interesting to me is that we're seeing these top collections, and, I've had the debate in my head of like, okay, so is Yuga King? Are we still valuing that? Like, people are now kind of looking for, that extra utility versus just like that grail status per se of what CryptoPunks has, for the Fidenzas, et cetera, et cetera. Because I feel like you can very strongly make the argument that if Bored Apes don't do anything, they are a part of history, assuming that this blockchain stuff doesn't go away, right? So there's that argument to it, but at the same time, for some of the smaller collections out there, you know how much you can get for 295 ETH? Holy sheesh! But again, it's safer probably to go with these upper echelon things. So I saw this on my timeline, and I thought it was kind of funny because back in the day, if you weren't around, everybody tried shilling stuff to Gary V. They're like, Gary, have you checked out this? Have you checked out that? Gary used to buy a random NFT. It used to absolutely moon beyond belief. People called him a market manipulator and all these crazy things. And then we saw recently where the co-founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club in Mr. Gordon Goner went out and bought a whole bunch of NFTs, and kind of the same thing where everybody went crazy for that. But I mean, you don't really see anybody saying, hey, Gordon, go and buy these NFTs anymore. But I thought this was funny because it took me back to the days that happened. Breaking it, Disney has filed for an application called Systems and Methods to produce a physical article that provides admission authorization to an event which correlates to a digital asset from a temporary wallet, aka NFTs. What a mouthful, bro. Jeez. So we know that they have the Disney Pinnacle thing that's coming out. This is looking like there's a way to kind of get these NFTs in a different realm. There's an article here. I'm not going to go over that, but just know that Disney and all these major companies are getting into the space. I do have a shorts that kind of breaks down why I think everybody is going to get into this. If you're trying to convince some friends, be sure to always check that out. YouTube Shorts or on TikTok at Schillerverse. Okay. Apple fans are starting to return their Vision Pros, citing motion sickness, lack of comfort, headaches, vision issues, and nausea. We've been highlighting since day one some of the different takes people have about the Vision Pro, and kind of interesting that we're finding out that it's not the greatest. And orangey here, this is just like blockchain. You let other people do the stuff first before you jump in, just in case it's a little risky. But he's saying, guys, I didn't want to admit this, but I wasted $4,000 on the Apple Vision Pros because they lost their new and cool feeling. Again, people FOMO out of things. It's cool. Again, at some point, we'll be in the metaverse all the time. So if you haven't seen ApeCoin, they're doing an ape chain, and it was Arbitrum, I believe. Holy heck. I want to say there was Arbitrum that won that. My mind's blanking there for a second because it was between ZK Sync, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum, I believe. And it's funny because I think we also forget the reason why this happened in the first place. So to go back when they launched the other side mint, they hyped up the fact that Cool Cats, World of Women, all these other NFTs, CryptoPunks, Meebits were going to be a part of this, and they were selling this metaverse land. And so they did the mint on ETH for some reason. They gas was like $1,000 to even purchase it. It was horrible. People flooded Yuga to the depths of everything, and it was not a great experience. It was not a great experience. But Captain Trippy highlighting the tweet that kind of started them looking at the L2 aspect, and we're sorry for turning off the lights on Ethereum for a while. It seems abundantly clear that ApeCoin will need to migrate to its own chain in order to properly scale. We'd like to encourage the DAO to start thinking in this direction. Now, this is back in April of 2022. How the hell are we like 2 months in to 2024 and we've just decided on it? I feel like that highlights how absolutely inefficient DAOs are in general. I mean, we've been in a slow period, so you could say it's whatever, but I still find it just absolutely crazy it's been this long. We were aware that some users had failed transactions due to the incredible demand being forced through Ethereum's bottleneck. For those of you affected, we appreciate your willingness to build alongside us. Know that we've got your back and we'll refund your gas. So that's a good gesture that they did back in the day, but the day of, people were pissed. John Carl here highlighting 10K TF, saying this is bullish. I haven't really done a whole lot of research on it, so this is a little bit more for me, but maybe you'll learn something from this too. I don't own any, but let's learn. If this tag and its subsequent popcorn confused you, that's because it was by design. Imagine a powerhouse project being built without any hype. That's exactly what 10KTF shop team has just done with what will likely become one of the most valuable other side meta assets. Now, I thought there was some kind of extra things of like 10KTF people were getting like, the team wasn't there. I don't really know. Yo, Sarah, what's going on? How are you? But anyway, let's go. So slow and steady. When investing in crypto projects, I always look for dedicated and talented builders, less hype, more building oriented with a focus on community. The 10K TF shop team has lived up to these metrics since their origin. MFIG speaks in riddles for a reason. Web3 was supposed to be different than Web2, a place where you can build with your community, a place where you could reward your truest fans, a place that allowed people to come together anonymously with shared vision for the future. And for 10K TF shop, similar to CCC. What the hell is CCC? Yo, Ray Stinger, what's going on, brother? How are you? Didn't start with the PFP. They started by finding true Web3 OGs that loved their IP enough to craft digital clothes that had no promises of utility. The goal of 10K TF shop has always been to find the truest Web3 community. Now, do you remember back when like 10K TF shop came out? Because I do not. To be honest, I really don't. But then there was all like the hype around it because you acquired it or something like that. But I mean, they continue to go through here, and you know they're highlighting these things. But you know when you're building a thread here, guys, like here's the lesson, right? Like let's not use the community buzzword. Let's not talk about the passion and all that kind of stuff. Like give the cold hard facts right away. There's too much yapping in these things. Okay, we went through 4 tweets and I didn't learn a single thing. So we're gonna go next. But when you write that thread, next time you're bullish on something, now you know. Okay, do you remember Portal? I had to mute the word. It was disgusting. It was awful. However, at the time, there was all this commotion about Jamie King, who co-founded Rockstar Games, again, the creators of Grand Theft Auto, was a part of their advisory board. Everybody went nuts over it, and I feel like I've not heard a single thing about Portal since. That said, I swear no matter how much we ask for more info about the token launch, Portal gives us nothing but random announcements about the games we didn't ask for. So Portal, I have an announcement again because I've muted this. So I don't even know how to set it up on my timeline. But Aether Games Inc. joins Portal. Play through an epic journey with Aether trading card game. Woo! Another trading card game. That's exciting, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess, yeah, not much is going on with Portal, but they got everybody to tweet about it all the time. When altcoin rally, we're going to get to some of the stuff regarding the Bitcoin ETFs in a second, but like if it's all truey, oh baby. I feel like as Bitcoin keeps going up here, whenever it takes a break for a moment, then that's usually when we see the alts from my understanding, but don't quote me on that. We'll go over that in just a momentaro. Major sales of Joe Montana and John Elway now grace NFL All Day's top sales leaderboard in just 1 week since the latest Ultimate Moment launch. So obviously, we were heavy into Top Shot back in the day. People were excited for the UFC First Strike. They were excited for NFL All Day. It's felt like both of those really haven't hit the mark in terms of getting a lot of adoption or some of these crazy sales, but they're going back here and going into time. So I guess the top buys of 2024 so far is a Tom Brady for 40K. It's an Ultimate 1 of 1 and Aaron Rodgers for 34K. And then one of the Joe Montanas that is out of 10. Spicy. I always find it like crazy when you buy something that like 10 other people have the exact same thing of for that much, but I guess in the physical card realm, it's not that different. Okay, Coinbase coming out with their Q4 23 and full year 2023 update. So when you go through this, it's really interesting, to be honest. So there's 400 million plus global crypto owners for their Stand With Crypto, which is kind of like their fight to help promote the right candidates in a political stance from just getting the right laws over yada yada, but 300,000 plus advocates for that one. They have 600 million plus assets on the base platform. Their Q4 net income, 273 million, which my face is in the way, but it's right here. And then for the 2023 total revenue, 3.1 billion. And that's arguably when it was kind of like a barrier and not the greatest. But the most notable thing potentially out of this entire thing, and I was shocked reading this, 80% plus of crypto trading happens outside the United States. 80% plus. So I mean, I guess that means the U.S. is barely in crypto, and so if they get into crypto, that might be your altcoin rally. But apparently, if you're going over to the Japanese yen, Bitcoin is just absolutely smashing it right now. Bitcoin is now at an all-time high against the Japanese yen. Money printing strikes again. Everybody's kind of expecting this to happen across the board for the entire world. I have no idea what this is. I'm not going to lie. But I came across this and I was like, okay, so we have another kind of like failed project. Team didn't know what they're doing. What the hell is this? So this no handle person says, we have launched 1 hour ago and initially tried lots of things to prevent bots. 25 NFTs per wallet. That's, holy sheesh. Blacklisting some bots and 1,000 other transactions were some of the measurements we have taken. Yet our launch got botted beyond our expectation. Even if we didn't share ECA to anyone and tried to keep this launch as fair as possible, our devs waited 20 to 30 minutes to make sure we are all on the same page, and some famous bots found RCA. This is not what we stand for and what we want to make right for our community. Therefore, we paused our contract. After carefully considering our next steps, we decided to attempt a refund in order to accomplish this. So we have paused trading and we are pulling the liquidity out. We're taking security measures to protect your shares. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on. But every freaking day you wake up and there's another story of something going terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. All the time. We're going to continue here. Yo, that Nick. What's going on? It's impossible to read your guys' names right now. Like, it's kind of sunny out and I need to like close the window maybe, but like your names are all in like blue and it's a black screen and it's like, oh, jeez. I got to really, up the eyesight in there. But good morning, sir. VPN Life, only way to trade America. America. Okay. So do you guys remember Farcaster, the Warpcast app that everybody was talking about a week ago, saying it was the new greatest thing since Twitter? Yeah, nobody talks about it anymore. However, Johnny here highlighting, I respect builders, but this is anti-ethical to our space. At Farcaster is not a mullet, Web 2 in the front, Web 3 in the back. Okay, okay, dude. This is a suit that grew his beard out. Don't fumble the bag. And so if you haven't used it, basically there is a way that you can create channels. So if I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do like a Schillerverse channel, right? So you can go, if you guys wanted to comment in it, if I wanted to post in it, like it's not limited to anybody, right? You just have the post and you direct it to that channel. I guess kind of like a Reddit thread, but I guess like the founder reached out and said, Bankless wants their channel. We'll refund you, plus give you like $25 of USDC. And it's kind of one of those things like, that doesn't sound too decentralized now, does it, sir? So again, a lot of these things are like disguised as decentralized and whatnot. Maybe Warpcaster isn't even that, but still kind of a weird back and forth here where Bankless is a podcast and they wanted their channel. I don't think the guy really did anything wrong per se, but I guess they, yeah. I don't know why you'd even want a channel. I don't think it actually does anything. But with that said, Adam Hollander here highlighting something from Magic Eden again. So you could just retweeted this despite not being specifically listed with the other projects. I guess we can expect a Yuga mint of some sort in the near future. Hard not to read into that retweet. So for Magic Eden, introducing a never before seen program on Magic Eden. A way to earn diamonds by supporting your favorite creators on our Ethereum launchpad. An aptly named experience called Mint to Earn. Oh, okay. Sounds like people are going to be spending money. Finally, a new hope for minters everywhere. Season 1 of M2E will start at the end of February with a launch pool dedicated diamonds. These will be tallied and shared among Launchpad minters of select projects at the end of the season. Season 2 will be on Solana. Stay tuned for more info. So this is where we can basically like force people. Sorry, I shouldn't say force because that is a completely incorrect term, but encourage people to mint certain collections purely because there's extra points involved and people go in their head and they say, you know what? I not only could this mint end up doing good, but I could make money off of that from like the diamond reward. So we'll kind of see, but we are Planet Mojo, OSF Rect, Thank You X, Crypto Ninja NFT, Scapes, OK Dogs, which I guess is the OK Bears thing, Ranga, Chimpers, Traff, Quirkies, Iron Belly, and San Fran Tokyo, which apparently for the San Fran Tokyo thing, they have like a mint that's coming up that if you have one of their NFTs, you get one, but then otherwise there's like a paid mint that goes along with it. But I mean, we go through all these things, all the projects coming out, all the more cryptos, like holy geez, one of these things is gonna work, right? MetaMask saying a little bit of a interesting thing. It's not about a token, son of a bitch, but it's about gas. So no gas, no problem. When bridging, use refueled to get native tokens on the destination chain to cover any gas fees moving forward. So this is kind of interesting. Whenever you bridge, it's kind of a pain because if you don't have like whatever the native gas token is, which shout out Root Network that is soon, I think, going to activate their any token gas fee because it is a pain. But when you bridge through there, yo, Riva, what's going on? And the subscription from YouTube, yo, banger, brother. Plan ahead with convenience in a single flow. Toggling refuel on will automatically convert some of your bridged funds into the destination network's native gas token. This means you'll receive native tokens to cover any gas fees so you can transact on the destination chain. New to bridging, we've got you covered, all that kind of stuff, yada, yada, yada. Holy, I'm trying to read the name. I can't see it. Noaka. Yo, is that like the Nana? Have you guys ever seen on TikTok, there's like that puppet thing? It's all over my feed. I think it's hilarious. Why Polkadot not pumping? Still $6 to $7. I mean, I think like for the entire space right now, everybody's like watching Bitcoin and waiting to see what happens with that alongside like the Ethereum ETFs, if that does happen. And sorry, there's a lot of tabs. I said a moment ago, we're going to get to the Bitcoin ETFs. I promise we are. But I think for all this stuff, like it's all dependent on how Bitcoin reacts here. So if you're an NBA fan, apparently you can get free league pass for a year. It's like a 12-month stint. I just want to highlight this. Apparently, like, I don't know if it works in Canada. There's some people that said like you needed to use the VPN for it, like originally signing up or something. But here's the TLDR. Check the VOD if you missed that, or just go to Pack Rip Ewing on Twitter. So free league pass for a year, no strings attached. Sign into the NBA account, connect Nike account, vote for Tatum's All-Star sneaker, and after that you get the promo code instantly applied and check out with $0 balance for 12 months. Pretty sick. So from NBA University, 100% serious. If you sign up and vote on Jason Tatum's shoes, you get a year of league pass premium for free. Just saying, power to the people. Took me 2 minutes. So that's kind of neat. Again, this is at NBA_university. This was posted on February 15th. So just a day ago, if you're wanting to check that out. But this is almost like an NFT incentive, right? Where it's like, hey, go vote on this and we'll give you something free. That's what we love to see. Okay, My Pet Hooligan's been doing a lot of these interesting breakdowns of news. I think they're really, really good and worth watching. So here's a minute and 38 of the 60-second breakdown from My Pet Hooligan.
Welcome to the weekly Web3 News, 60 seconds edition. I'm Hooli. I'm Hooli. I'm Hooli. I'm not Hooli. And I'm Leslie Stahl. All that and Hooli Rooney in this 60 seconds. Pudgy penguins are closing in on Bored Apes as top dog. Can we mix our animal metaphors anymore? Is the flipping going to happen? Once upon a time, one Bored Ape got you 100 pudgy penguins. Franklin, his board, sold his signature golden ape for a measly $600K, signaling the end of an era. When will I flip something? We got a whole studio of 60 gaming and entertainment superstars, and the last time I flipped anything, I became a dad. Speaking of big sales, Ether Rock is making a splash with what appears to be a clip art rock, selling for over $400K. Hey, didn't the last one sell for over $1 million in 2021? Here I thought brick and mortar was always a good investment, but this is clip art. On the topic of digital, Disney has invested over $1.5 billion to acquire a stake in Epic Games while also announcing a collaboration to create an expansive open games and entertainment universe connected to the Fortnite. Is this the metaverse we've all been waiting for? If anyone has a shot, it's probably them. They have all the money. Shh, don't tell the Sandbox and Decentraland Discord so they may become even more of a dumpster fire than they already are. Eat it, clock! Over to Hooli Rooney. Bitcoin hits 50K again as the halving approaches. A few things to keep in mind. Are we finally reaching the proverbial promised land, or will we just get lost in the desert for another 30 years? Will everyone forget to take profits once more? Well, take it from your pal Hooli Rooney. Moments like these are a scammer's wet dream, so be careful out there and mind your socks, especially the stiff ones.
Boom. There you go. There's an update from My Pet Hooligan. Kind of cool. Why Tatum? I mean, I don't know. There's probably some kind of thing with either the shoe creators or Tatum himself where there's that promo just to highlight it. Okay, so let's get into some greasy details here. Less than a 10x from $1 million per CryptoPunk, less than a 20x from $1 million Bitcoin, and near zero Euphoria. Wild. I mean, to be fair, I kind of agree with this take. Like it's odd that like we're sitting here. Obviously, we talked about it. Within our inner circles, we're like, yeah, this is all cool and whatnot. But like, it definitely doesn't feel euphoric, even in the slightest. Now, we talked about yesterday about how Roboto said that it was calling quits, and a few days ago I highlighted about how there's projects that you can just like launch on a chain that's getting activity, or everybody's like working on, and just because of the lack of other collections around there, you can do well on. And so on this post about Roboto's holders coping hard, this guy says they should bridge to say then everything will be okay. Okay, dude. I spent some time analyzing the post ETF Bitcoin charts today and came out with some rough price predictions for the next 3 months. Currently, the ETF inflows lead to a 2% increase in price per day, which is about $1,000 per day. Most of the increase is taking place during the settlement period before U.S. market opening. It seems to me that you can trade that market inefficiency, but I am not a day trader. More important, I believe you can predict this daily price increase by looking at the inflows that were announced a few hours before that. At current prices, inflows are 10 to 12 times of newly created BTC, meaning that people have to sell their BTC in order to fill the ETF orders. They will only do that at higher prices because hardly anybody who looks at this market would think BTC is peaking. Higher prices lead to more FOMO among ETF investors, leading to more demand and even higher prices. Two other events that will happen in the next 3 months are important. The halving of the BTC mining rewards in mid-April. Right now, 900 BTC are produced per day, but after that, only 450 new coins are mined. This will add to the supply shock and will lead to even higher prices. Many financial advisors can only start selling a new ETF after 90 days of trading to minimize the risk that an ETF they sell will fail, meaning by early May, demand should start picking up even more. What will this mean for the price? I think we are in uncharted territory here, but I believe an average increase of $1,000 per day per trading day over the next weeks is very likely. After the two events above, this could even be substantially higher. This means that unless there is a black swan event, we will see a new all-time high, higher than 69,000, before the halving, and we could possibly hit 100K in the next 2 to 3 months. Nice. So there's a little bit of a breakdown for the Bitcoin ETFs. I don't know. You read that? Do you think that's bullish? Do you think this guy's just talking malarkey? What's the thought here? Between NFT Fi, Arcade, and MetaStreet, I think NFT finance is finally entering the crypto mainstream. Who brought up NFT finance earlier in the month, last month? That's right, we did. Because that's what people are, they always talk about the leveraging of these top collections and whatnot, but like they completely ignore the aspect of how big that can actually be when it branches beyond just one or two collections. Funny to say that, but I think NFT finance has broadly been overlooked by most in DeFi. Truly! Very true. Pleased to announce that I've been officially appointed General Counsel and Head of Web3 Growth for Talon Esports. Okay, so this is something that I find so strange because I've been following like these esport teams and what they've done in the blockchain space. We've had Guild of Guardians do a collab with a whole swath of different things from NRG. I think Talon Esports were about of it. I think even T1 were involved. And then for Valhalla during their launch, it was the same thing. Now, for Valhalla, I don't know what in the heck happened. Obviously, they went to the side route of not doing that streaming platform anymore. So I don't know how those deals, the logoing in that stuff kind of works. Either way, it seems that there is a cluster of mainstream esports teams that are trying to do something within the Web3 space, and this just kind of highlights that again, but it seems like it's very, very specific ones. So just kind of watch. It'll be interesting to see. This is, I guess, maybe one of those like kind of softening touches, when you're petting the sheep or whatever, and you're like, hey, it's okay, sheep, as the sheep is trying to eat you because it hates NFTs. You know what I mean? So this is maybe one of the realms where that works out. Yo, wicked, holy sugar. Long time no see. How in the halibut are you, sir? And when was the last time you got takeout? And what was it? I'm curious, to be honest. Okay, we're getting into Sotheby's. They're selling these Ether rocks, and then they're saying that the sale will be completed off-chain. What? Ether rock sealed auction is open for bidding. Here's how to bid. Select a bid amount, plus click, place bid. If your bid is higher than the highest bid, you become the new high bidder. Otherwise, see your bid ranking. Raise your bid anytime, no buyer's premium. The final price stays a secret, known only to the seller and the winning bidder. Note the sale will be completed off-chain. What the hell is this? What do you mean the final price stays a secret? So is there just somebody behind the scenes that know this is going to sell for like millions upon millions? And that's why we're seeing these EtherRock sales happen ahead of time, because there's all these insiders. Like, this is the weirdest, scammiest, odd sounding thing ever. And the fact that it's completed off chain. I mean, listen, I get it to a point, right? Because this is like the mainstream type of auction house that's selling NFTs. But what? So we highlighted again earlier, congratulations to Horizon Labs, Arbitrum, and Off-Chain Labs for winning the community's vote on AIP 378. Yuga Labs, like many other developers in the Ape ecosystem, is excited about what it can build on Ape Chain. So my first notion was, okay, so we have Arbitrum and Ape that are now a part of this. What's kind of the swing? Are people bullish and they go and buy ApeCoin? Or did they go and buy Arbitrum, or is there literally no price action? So on a day here, it's down about 1%. That's kind of whatever. However, leading up to this, I guess we're up 15%. I think a lot of the crypto market as a whole is kind of up there as well. So that just might be a fluke. But when we look at Arbitrum after the big announcement, it's down 4%. So you get a bid where you are building something that arguably some of the people with the most liquidity in the entirety of the blockchain space, that's way too hyperbolic. Holy shit. Take that back. Reverse. But right, there's a lot of users and a lot of people arguably with liquidity that's, has a chance to go and try this stuff on Arbitrum. Why is it down 4% after such a big news day? That's wild. Breaking news. This is coming from Canada. I wanted to add some context to this because I feel like anybody that's in a different part of the world, you'll see these headlines and be like, what in the hell? So new report reveals GC Strategies has received over $250 million in contracts from the Trudeau government since 2015. This two-person company that works out of their basement was paid nearly $20 million for the ArriveCan app. So this is something that I used back when NFT NYC happened, and basically what it was is when you got back into Canada, you had to fill out this app. Now, when I came back, I didn't even do it right because you were supposed to fill it out before your plane left. I'm walking through the tunnel being like, oh geez, I forgot this. Went up to the window being like, man, sorry, I didn't do this. And dude freaked out on me and then still let me through. And I was like, what the hell's the point of this if there's not really any, extra rationale for it? Obviously, the times during COVID was all kind of crazy, but big story here about, I guess, this two-person company that has that, again, got $250 million. So you might see that on your national headlines, but I've used it, and yeah, it felt kind of stupid and didn't really make any sense why it was a thing. Boomers are selling gold ETFs, buying Bitcoin ETFs. This is the ETF aggregate flows since Bitcoin spot ETFs, and we can see where this goes up to February 13th. So again, about 3 days ago, but gold is getting sold off. Well, Bitcoin are seeing really start to kind of rip here, where gold's kind of just minorly going. Bitcoin is starting to go, so a little bit more of some bullish actions. Starknet deleted their Telegram channel. The other day, all over the timeline, you saw people posting, I think I'm eligible for this ETH early adopter thing that ended up being inaccurate. Whole bunch of people didn't get this drop. People just ended up fudding it. What was super hyped up and everybody was going to be shilling about it, it didn't happen. So how to nuke your entire ecosystem in one day, a masterclass. Bro calling us e-baggers and think we're going to bridge to a chain again or buy that token. So was definitely my impression. For example, it's absolutely 100% clear that Linea bought followers and it's 95% official. Even more probably, I think we are the most honest of this kind of things. We did not promise anything. We are patiently building for years to build long-term value and protocol that will be beneficial for users. What's wrong with you? You really think I'm the one to blame here? Ha ha ha. You lost your soul to earn some buckets of money. You have the impression that people working hard for years owe you anything. Let me laugh. To all who have an issue, please just go away. We are building to change the world, a system for the next decade. Listen, another day, another bit of fun. And Zenthivist having a really good take here, saying a few measly percent reallocated from any of the buckets to the ETH early adopters, and Starkware would have a cadre of euphoric people shilling Stark and bridging over. Study bozo, stay crusty. Lessons in there. And I mean, all these people have advisors and things. And to be honest, even if they allocated a little bit, you'd have a lot more people that kind of have this, open mindset to it. Now everybody's just like, oh, these guys are liars. What? That's a bunch of garbage. So we've seen this constant trend over the last week of all these bigger collections screaming, saying, oh my God, we need airdrops. Pudgy Penguins got that Dimension airdrop and it was like several $1,000s, yada, yada, yada. Again, shout out to the Root community. We're doing the future score. Again, probably doing better than all those other ones combined. But with that said, of course, check out the videos for everything Futureverse related. Moonbirds, I guess, kind of getting involved in that in a way a little bit different here, but huge thanks to Oniforce team for giving our community a chance to participate in the upcoming Fallen drop on Ordinal. So they're giving away allow list spots for this. It's, another paid mint. Like, I don't know. I find it weird. I guess there's new mints that people still want, which is awesome. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so, we're the collection, we're highlighting to our holders this other collection, go and spend your liquidity over there. I get the open metaverse, right? Like, I'm not trying to FUD that aspect of it, but I think that it's super weird. And also, like, why Moonbirds and Oniforce, those I feel like don't really align in like any way from the fact that, I mean, other than the fact that they're an NFT collection, but that's about it. There was 631 million of net inflows to the spot Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. That is 14 times more demand than the network produced in the same day. I don't think people understand the magnitude of what is happening right now. Bullish. And the final thing that I want to end on here is actual numbers that actually make sense, that actually have sustainability, that we actually should be paying attention to. Looks like Pixel Vault might crack 500 daily active users today for Battle Plan. Recent influx of new players. Now the game is finally mostly stable and bug-free. Things could get interesting very quickly if this ball really gets rolling. Game has high stickiness factor as most players return. Now, I don't really care whether you like the game, you don't like it, you've heard of it, you've not heard of it. This is the only thing that I think really matters about this, is that it's a legitimate number that doesn't sound egregious. Okay, you have 500 people, which is a lot, right? Try to fit 500 people in your house, your apartment, whatever. It's probably not going to happen. That's a lot of cake. This is the numbers that we want to see, right? Because we see people say we have 1 million users, we have 500,000, we have all these insane numbers from absolutely nowhere. Here's the honest factor, and it's growing. This is what we like to see, and I wish the space had more of it. Okay, that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Again, if you are wanting to support the stream at all you have to do, send the link to a friend. Be like, yo, just check out the Schiller guy. You might find him interesting. Of course, you are able to support through a Twitch sub or signing up for the YouTube membership. It's like $2.99 per month if you are interested. But with that said, that's going to be it for me. It is the weekend, so that is, I guess I'm going to end up seeing you on Monday. If you're wanting more content, of course, check out the other streams, because I think one of my favorite parts of this is going back and looking at the craziness that people were hyped up for that ended up not happening. Is that Trader Pops? Yo, that's Trader Pops. Good morning, sir. Why did people don't know? Future Score is the best Web3 game out there. It's crazy. Appreciate you coming through. Wicked as well. And everybody else, I want to go through your names, but I legitimately can't see the names. Actually, if I bring it over on this screen, hold on. We can see it now. All right, we got Sarah, Ray Stinger, Noah, Nick. Yo, this is a crazy day in the chat. And Wicked and Trader Pops. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. Peace.